Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. As you just saw, illegal street racers were mocking police officers in Washington state. As Katie Davenport, reporter for the Post-Millennial and Human Events, notes about that blood-boiling clip, new police reform laws in the state mean that cops are severely restricted, almost banned, in conducting vehicle pursuits, and that criminals know this. And as you might expect from a bunch of thugs who laugh at the very concept of decency, respect, and chivalry, hence their nasty street takeovers of an intersection to run donuts into a illegally street race, shots broke out. It was late Saturday night into Sunday morning when 5 men were shot at one of these street takeovers in the greater Seattle area. Eyewitnesses and even the men shot were hostile to cops, and police said they refused to cooperate or to give statements. At this point, I say good. Let these dirtbags wallow in their own self-inflicted misery, getting shot at and jumped by each other. They may think they're all tough and can handle it now, but at some point it'll be too much for even them to bear, because they can't truly comprehend the utter depravity and barbaric evil that results from criminals ruling the cities based on who's more ruthless than their competitors. Just look at all the people getting chopped up in Haiti right now as we speak and set on fire. Now, of course, the only problem with all this is that innocent people get caught in the crosshairs. It's exactly what happened in Chicago, where a vehicle went around an SUV being driven by a crack cocaine dealer, or at least he says former crack cocaine dealer, whose life sentence was commuted by none other than Barack Obama. And that's all the victims did. They came up behind Alton Mills' SUV, and when he didn't go and the light turned green, they just moved into the next lane without honking or yelling to get around him. That's it. But within moments, they noticed the SUV speeding up to catch them on the expressway, and then gunshots were being fired at them, causing one passenger in the backseat to suffer life-threatening injuries after being struck. Mills is now charged with 3 counts of attempted murder. That's what happens when you listen to criminals. They play you. Anyone who's ever worked in the jails can tell you that. Just look at Jordan Neely's uncle, the one who wants the book thrown at the Marine veteran who stopped his nephew from hurting someone on a New York City subway. Neely's family wasn't there for him when he was living on the streets with severe psychotic mental health issues, kidnapping 7-year-olds and punching old ladies in the face until their skulls crack, which Neely did do, Jordan Neely, as part of his former 40 arrests. But now that he's dead, the family that is, they're all lining up with their hands out for media acclaim and for money payouts. It's sick. No wonder so many people are screwed up these days with family like that. Well, now his uncle, Christopher Neely, has been arrested after being caught with a knife and several stolen credit cards after trying to run away from an anti-pickpocketing unit at a bus terminal in Manhattan. The elder Neely has his nephew beat, with 70 prior arrests and 2 active warrants out for his arrest at the time he was actually caught. Joining us now to discuss all this madness and more is Michael Letts, the founder and CEO of Invest USA. Michael, thanks for being here tonight.
Kara, it's always a privilege. Thank you so much for speaking the truth to America.
So does it surprise you at all that Christopher Neely, the uncle of Jordan Neely that we've heard so much about these last few weeks, is so quick to demand prosecution of Marine Daniel Penny, while he, Christopher Neely, has no clue of what it means to protect and serve, because all he does is to prey on helpless people in the community? No wonder he can't get his mind around what Penny had to do on that subway.
You know, Kara, it doesn't surprise me at all, the criminal element. It's what's going to be surprising to the American people is just how corrupt and how barbaric the criminal mind can be. Unless you've been there on the streets and you realize that they have no conscience. And that's the key. And we have played a role because we've allowed ourselves in society not to require accountability for people's actions. That since they feel there is no accountability, and quite frankly, to a point, they are right. We even look on the federal level. We look at our FBI, who are now committing felonious acts. I've never seen law enforcement commit felonies and never be held accountable for. Our attorney general is in the same boat. When the very top is doing it, Kara, what do you expect? And it will only get a whole lot worse, not better. But there is hope because we believe there are solutions.